Hello, and welcome to the Smart Injury Doctors Podcast, the injury market's top program for doctors, lawyers, and insurers who want to gain greater insight on how to improve patient recovery results and deliver better services in the U.S. injury market. Please welcome your host, Dr. Jeffrey Allen Kronk.
Okay, what I want to talk about today is your focus should be on results. Your focus should be on great patient results. If you're in the injury space, that's what your focus should be in. If you're in the chronic pain space or you're in the health delivery services space, let's just put it that way. Your focus should be on patient results. Now, do you have other focuses? Yes, you have a business to run. You have marketing focus. You have employee focus. You have compliance focuses. Am I complying with Medicare? Am I complying with the insurer? Am I doing my pre-auths for insurance? Am I complying with work comp and the rules and regulations? So you have all kinds of things that you have your attention on, but the basic business of your center is always going to be about helping people to recover their health. If it's from an injury, the health from an injury. If it's from a chronic problem that was caused from an injury and now they're still having a chronic problem with it, and you want to help them recover from that and to seriously minimize that, results are what matter. And results are not talked about enough today in the market. If anything, I think the market needs to go to an outcome-based payment system where pay is adjudicated based on outcome. And the better your outcomes, the better your pay. And so the competition becomes to get better outcomes. What do I mean by outcomes? Outcomes are short-term outcomes and long-term outcomes combined. So what's short-term? Short-term is removal of the problem. Person comes in, they have auto accident, and they have headaches. Good. You remove the headaches. You do what you need to do to get rid of the headaches. Good. Long-term, do they come back right away after you stop treatment? Or do they require all kinds of continued care in order to get them resolved? Or does it stay stable, whatever was causing it? Have you stabilized it so that the headaches don't come back? Same with chronic pain, chronic neck pain, chronic headaches. I mean, today a patient walking into any clinic in the world after an auto accident has a 50 or 55% chance, by research, chance of never fully recovering. So I can pull up research that says, hey, in a year in Canada, there can be, between Canada and the U.S., there's 13 million people that show up with neck injuries into the health system. And this is just neck. This is not low back. This is not mid back. This is not shoulder, knees. This is just neck. Show up, and I look at that statistics and I say, okay, if there's 13 million of them, 6.5 million of them at least are going to be chronic pain patients, which means they're going to cost the system an additional, if I look at places like the U.S. Pain Foundation, they're going to tell me that patient's going to spend $7,726 more per year in consuming medical expenses. If somebody walks away with a low back injury, the American Pain Society tells me that it's going to cost that person $9,000 to $19,000 to medically manage that condition. I'm going to look and I'm going to say, gosh, if the person walks away with headaches, the American Headache Society says that patients, are going to spend, if they have chronic headaches, they could spend as much as $8,900 per year more on headaches. Okay, these are humongous expenses that a good doctor is going to minimize. Remember, that's your job. Your job is not, when people walk around and say, well, look, I want to increase claim value. What they're saying is I want the patient who's going to need to spend now $9,000 to $19,000 per year because in 10 years, they're going to spend $190,000. In 20 years, they're going to spend $380,000. So the insurer should be responsible for giving them benefit, giving them that benefit. If I'm an insurer, as an insurer, I'm going to start to take a look and say, look, it's going to be beneficial for us to set up outcome-based payment schedules. It's going to be beneficial for us, and mark my words, it's on the way, it's coming, where we will start to direct patients based on outcomes. We have the data in our database. We know that if you go to this doctor, this is what they get, but this is the outcomes. I remember one time I worked in Washington State. I had a chiropractic center in Washington State. And one of the orthopedic doctors, surgeons came around to all the chiropractic groups. And, in those days, they just never did that. So, of course, this guy was a hero. He was like, oh, my God, look how much he supports chiropractic. He's coming around to all the chiropractic communities. So he was positioned as the top spinal surgeon. So I had a work comp patient. I thought, wow, the first time in my career, I'm going to need to send out possibly to have a surgery. So I called the work comp. I got a pre-auth, said, hey, I'd like to send out for a spinal consultation of this patient to this spinal surgeon in the work comp system. And the person on the phone said, do you like the patient? I said, yeah, of course I like the patient. I said, why do you ask? Because this is the worst doctor that you could send him to. If you want this patient disabled, send him to this doctor. He has the worst outcomes of all of our doctors. And that was the first time now that saved me a referral. I would have made the referral to that doctor based on the marketing that basically and the public relations campaign that the doctor had ran to us as a group in the Washington chiropractic market. So what was nice is the insurer saved me at that point and saved me from making a bad referral. And by the way, incidentally, that patient did stabilize under my care. No surgery was needed. But a surgical consult was needed. So, it was at that point that I thought, well, why don't the insurers monitor that? I mean, we're talking, this was in 97 or 98 maybe. Why don't the insurers do that? And personally, I think it's coming because nobody can afford the costs anymore. So it'll either be the insurers, it'll be some other outside group that says, hey, we'll set up a network. And in that network, we're going to manage this. I've thought about doing it ourselves. As a matter of fact, we have a network that we're establishing called the Smart Injury Network. And the whole thing is geared toward doctors and professionals that want consistently and can produce consistently good results. So when I was in Seattle, my clinic and what I did and the work that we did was probably twice as much as the average. Okay, now how did I justify that? I justified that because I guarantee you our long-term results and our long-term benefits, which research now shows today I was right, but back then we knew not only were we getting great short-term results, but we were also getting great long-term results. So we were very much a friend to the insurer because we were reducing the cost, the future cost for the patient. That's what people need to, when you're in the injury business, that's what you need to be thinking of. I mean, if a professional baseball player blows out his shoulder, right? He's not interested, he or she is not interested in, okay, who can I find that can basically assure that I'm going to have a chronic problem for the rest of my life? They're looking for somebody who can solve the problem, who can cure the problem, right? Everybody gets afraid of the word cure, but cure just means recovery from something. That's all it means. Recovery from a disease, recovery from a condition. That's when you cause that condition to go away, essentially you've cured it. So that's what people are looking for. They're looking for people that can cure their problems. They're not looking for somebody that can do care, and so they can suffer for the rest of their life, and they can actually have super high bills just trying to manage that condition. So if you said, hey, if you'd like to find a doctor that can help you manage that condition, but their management is going to be 10 times more than my management is going to be, because we're going to, on the front side, do a lot better at reducing and stabilizing your condition, because we're going to get down to the root cause of it, and then we're going to be significantly less on the maintenance of that solution. It's a no-brainer. Would anybody want to go into an auto mechanic and take your car in and say, oh, look, you got a problem, and I know you used to use an auto mechanic before, but basically the only way we have to fix this is we're going to fix it, but it's going to be a temporary solution, and you got to come every single week, or you got to come every 2 weeks for the rest of your life in order for this car to run optimally. Nobody's looking for that. Now, what they are looking for is okay, my mechanic fixes my car. My dentist fixes my teeth, right? Then I maintain my teeth so that I don't have the huge expenses after that. That's called maintenance care. Nobody has a problem with maintenance care. So, results are what we should be leading with. And I'll tell you what, my profession in chiropractic should be screaming leading with results. Absolutely screaming. And taking no prisoners with it, especially in the injury space, right? So, in the chronic pain space, chiropractic, as far as a competitive model, dominates. No questions asked. When tested, chronic pain patients who have problems long-term, research comes out, hey, 95% improvement under care. Research comes out that says, oh, wow, a lot of times doctors are under-treating the condition, and with more treatment, the care results are improved. The research that's out there right now is just incredible. As far as that goes, if I want to look, I can show research that shows that if a patient goes with a musculoskeletal condition, a chronic condition, to the medical group, and I'm not saying anything against medicine. There's 250% more disability associated with. So in other words, the results are going to produce a 250% increase in disability duration compared to chiropractic. Now, these are when we're looking at mechanical spine pain conditions. Okay, if we compare one group to the other group, it's off the charts. The results are off the charts for chiropractic. So if you're listening to this and you're a chiropractor, don't introvert like you're competing against your fellow chiropractors. You can do that. You can compete against yourself. But what you're competing in the market with is very, very poor results, like extremely poor results. That's why 50% of the people that are going to have a spinal injury don't ever fully recover. That's not because the patients are bad. That's because the doctors and the delivery system of those doctors and their procedures are bad. So I don't care what I am. If I'm a chiropractor, I got to lead with results. If I'm a pain management center, I got to lead with results. How do we, as a pain management center, get better results than anybody else does? If I'm a surgeon, how do I get better results? There's a need for everybody in the market. If I'm a physical therapist, how do I get better results? And our better results also, I can look at it and say, if I'm getting better results, then I can look at it. How am I beneficial to an attorney? Let's just say this. There's a lot in the industry that says, oh my gosh, as a matter of fact, I get kind of fed up with, because sometimes the best chiropractors get treated as like a doorway service to other services that are not nearly as effective. And oftentimes, in my experience, it's because the patient hasn't had enough of the first level conservative care that chiropractic can provide before going out to those other services. Now, I'm not trying to say that there's not a place for all the services. There are. But everyone needs to lead with results. If the pain management doctor hurts his lower back and can go to a chiropractor and have it stabilized without the need for injections, don't you think they would do it? If the surgeon who does back surgeries all the time injures their back, are they going to go right to back surgery? No. Might they go right to injections? I don't know. Those don't show the type of results that you get if you go to a chiropractor. So Cifuentes et al., 2011, they showed that there was a 250% increase in disability, right? So if you want to look it up, it's health maintenance care and work-related low back pain and its association with disability recurrence. All right? So smart doctors look at results. They start to do things. The only thing is we're not, and when I say we're not, my profession is not great at showing its results. I mean, that's why I get so excited about our Smart Injury Doctors program, because one, it teaches doctors to be better injury doctors, and then we have a Smart Injury Network that we're producing, where we'll be marketing these doctors to whoever wants better results. This is where you're going to go. Better results can be better patient results, can be better diagnostic understanding of the injury itself. It can be better documentation. So it makes everybody's job easier. There's a lot to better results. But first and foremost, to anybody that's listening on this call, and I don't care what kind of doctor you are, results matter. That's what the market wants. That's what your patient that walks into your clinic wants. They want results. So you got to focus on what your market wants. Your attorneys, what do your attorneys want? They want results. What are results? They want fast resolution of the claim so they can turn the claim, get the fair settlement, get the patient, their client happy, the patient's happy, everybody's happy, and they go on to the next one. And they want to do that in volume. That's what everybody wants. What does the insurer want? The insurer wants, okay, gosh, we have this insurance. We have to pay for the liability of the accident. What do we want? We want the accident assessed extremely well. We want the best possible, most effective services being applied to it in the most cost-effective way, and we want to settle the claim. Everybody has the same. When you talk about results, nobody in the market is antagonistic toward results. And if they are, they're not the right people to work with. So it's the biggest thing in my experience that needs to be the primary focus is patient results. Now, I have a program called the Smart Injury Doctors Program. If you're interested in it, call us at 800-940-6513 or look us up. We have a lot of very unique benefits that come with our program. If you're interested, definitely check us out. We also have a Facebook user group called the Smart Injury Doctors Practice Building Success Network. You can get all kinds of free information from us. Obviously, you're listening to the podcast, so I do short riffs on particular subjects. I hope this one interested you today. Doctors, I thank you very much always for your time and your attention. I hope something resonated today that puts you on course, and I look forward to delivering more content on the next podcast.
You've been listening to the Smart Injury Doctors Podcast, the #1 audio production show for professionals in the U.S. injury market that want to deliver better injury services to the patients, clients, or insureds they serve. If you like what you heard today, please leave us a review and don't forget to join us on our next program.